Suddenly, from the middle of the lagoon, a huge wave swelled. It rose higher, like a gigantic geyser. Higher over my head, as tall as a building. A tidal wave? No. The wave broke. The dark creature pushed up underneath it. Water slid off its grotesque body. Its single eye stared out darkly at me. Its tentacle writhed and stretched. I screamed. The monster blinked its muddy brown eye at me. I tried to turn and swim away, but it was too fast. The tentacle whipped out and grabbed me, tightening around my waist. Then a slimy, cold tentacle wrapped around my brown eye.
You can't scare me. Not with the basement of botany. Maybe a sentient townie calling all creeps.
Boo dudes! Welcome to another episode of Calling All Creeps. I'm Matt, and I'm here with Dave. What's up, you cute little
Deep Dave.
Steinheads?
They call me Deep Dave.
Deep Dave, are you a famous scientist?
You fucking bet. I'm deep in that shit.
Wow.
Deep.
What's your uncle's name?
Also Deep Dave.
Okay.
He's a deeper Dave.
Mm-hmm. Just adult Deep Dave.
You can't even talk to him. He's so deep.
Look, don't go to deepdave.com.
Because it's all just very deep poetry I've written.
Yes, it's too emotional.
It's just like, oh, wow. Turns out the deepness was friendship all along.
Aw. That's very sweet.
Speaking of deep Daves and getting deeper into the Dave-dom of this podcast.
Getting deep into friendships with Daves.
We got another Dave here.
There's another Dave here.
I will also be Deep Dave.
That means we have 3 Deep Daves in this scenario?
Yeah.
Wow. Which one's the deepest? The first cut?
Hey, here's the thing about deep Daves. It's just like we don't compete with each other.
Yeah.
Just because we're Daves, it's not like you say, well, can only be one Dave.
Yeah, it's just what we do. You know, we might get deep, and it might be our normal state of being, but we don't compete with each other. We just like getting deep as fuck.
Yeah. And it's not like you compete in the games you like baseball.
Now, I can't.
So there's all the balls and stuff, and we're just trying to be deep.
Who's compete?
I don't know. I'm saying
Pete?
that you compete in these balls games, but
Uh-huh.
we're not trying to compete, but be balls deep.
Okay, so you're not trying to compete, but
I'll come and Pete.
Which of you is the deepest, though?
Peat is isn't that a type of rock or some sort of
It's
mineral?
a type of moss. I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, no. That's what we're referring to. If you cram your hard cock and ball into into some peat,
Yeah.
then you're competing with the Deep Dave.
I see. It's clear
Yeah.
now. Dave Momber, welcome to our podcast.
Hey, buddy. Buddies.
Buddies.
Is your middle name Richard?
Arthur.
Damn it! I knew it was something close to fancy, because then you could be Dick,
Arthur is fancy.
and it would be like Deep Dick, like deep dicking. Also, by the way, guys, we are doing a lot of wee jokes.
We came right into this
That's-
podcast with...
That should be as a surprise to no one. That's why you had me on.
We've been doing this a long time. Dave, we like to get to know our guests, or for our listeners,
Yeah.
as they relate and their history relates to Goosebumps. So can you tell us about your history with Goosebumps? What effect, if any, it had in your life? What was its presence in your life? If you care about it then or now?
No thanks.
Okay.
No, okay, so I went to school in the 90s in the Bronx, and
Ooh.
the
Did you know J-Lo?
yeah, I did know J-Lo.
She used to have a little. Now she has a lot.
And the Scholastic Fair was always a really big deal. And our shitty little library had every Goosebumps book. My guess is because they were cheap or just given away to schools.
Yeah.
So I did
Sounds
read
like
a
a
whole
good
bunch
library.
of them, specifically the one we're talking about today, but it actually had a pretty big impact because I can more or less draw a line from Goosebumps to middle school, high school when I started to get into Stephen King.
Yeah.
But the first books I read, actually read for enjoyment, were Goosebumps, this horror that going back and reading now is different. But yeah, it had a pretty large impact.
Yeah.
Would you say a deep impact?
Yeah, it had a deep impact.
Wait, so were you drawn to this book because you remember this most?
So I do remember reading this, but this is actually why I picked this. I don't give a shit what it is. I like anything with a big ass shark in it.
That's fair.
Very true.
Like, people are like, "Oh, Deep Blue Sea, that movie sucks," and I'm like,
That
no,
movie fucking rules.
it's awesome.
Also,
Like,
it has LL Cool J in it.
yeah,
Hey.
there's.
Deepest, bluest. My hat is like a shark's fin.
Yeah,
Those are
that's like a cult. It's okay to say you like Deep Blue Sea. If I say I like The Shallows with Blake Lively, everyone kind of looks at me cock. Like, anything with a big shark in it, I'm into. So I chose this book because it had a big shark on the cover.
That's fair.
And it fucking lied to me.
I mean, for the listeners, Dave just slammed his book on the floor. This is 2 weeks in a row? No, we skipped an episode where you slammed your book on
I
the floor.
threw the B book as hard as I could down at the ground and it got stuck under that kitchen
yeah,
cart.
I heard that.
Yeah, because fuck that book.
Yeah.
But thanks to R.L. Stine, the quality's really upped since the B movie.
Who would win in a fight, bees or sharks?
Ooh.
If they could sort of occupy the same terrain.
Well, here's the thing. If you have underwater bees, sharks. Because, like, the ultimate underwater bee is a stingray. But if you had aerial sharks, regardless, sharks are winning both scenario.
No, I don't.
I think
Or if you had
bees.
I think
bees with
bees.
legs running around. Well, here's the thing. It has to be fair, too. If you have 3 bees in a squad, you got to have 3 sharks.
Oh, right.
All right, that makes more sense. Because I was going to say, we're big, violent primates. And, like, we get killed by bees sometimes.
Yeah, but only, like, people that are allergic.
Those losers.
Yeah.
My girls.
Yeah, they get my girl so hard.
All right.
I mean, not to be offensive, Matt, but, like, I could fucking slay, like, 80 cans of peanut butter.
Yeah, if you held peanut butter anywhere near me, I would for sure get a boner.
Yeah. But there's just different things, that different strokes for different folks. Like,
Yeah.
if I shoot Matt with a gun anywhere near his face, he's fine. You shoot me once in the hand, I'm gonna bleed like a sucker.
That's right.
Yeah. It's just we all have to find our weaknesses. Mine are stabbing and bullets.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's fire and poison.
Yeah. Dave, what's your weaknesses?
Not-
On second thought, we don't want anyone to know.
No, it's simple. It's just not going deep.
Oh, okay.
It's my main weakness.
Yeah. Just the tip.
Dave's weakness is that he's too much of a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
I
in all
never
your
know how to
interviews.
balance my employers. Yeah, I'm bad at saying no, so I'll just take all the jobs and I do them, and like they're great, but like sometimes I personally get stressed out, but I don't
That's
let
right.
it show.
You're too much of a team player. I'd
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
You got to work on your happiness.
yeah. My nuts are too big.
Yeah. that's
Work-life
right.
balance, nut pants ratio.
Your
It's
hog
both
is too big. Every time you try to do a deadlift, your dick gets cut off by the barbell.
Babe 2, hog in the big city.
That's right. So Dave, thanks for being here and thanks for talking about your Goosebumps. Let's talk more about Goosebumps. This week's book is Deep Trouble
It is Deep Trouble.
in Little China.
Oh, dude, favorite movie. Don't even get me there. We'll go on a tangent. We'll talk forever.
I was pandering to you.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I like this book.
I mean, did you enjoy my pander?
Oh, yeah.
The
It's
reference?
just, like, it's pretty good.
Thank
You're
you.
like Kung Fu Pander.
Yeah.
You're my Jack Black. So, Deep Trouble was May of 1994. Top song was I Swear by All For One.
Okay. Oh, and I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there.
got real.
I'll be there.
I imagine Brian has a little bell. For every time that you know a song, he's like, ding, 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 ding. ding. Like,
it
You
really
got it.
it makes Papa proud.
it does. Top movie. We're going to go from the bottom up. I thought it was going to be The Crow.
Oh yeah.
Brandon Lee, we actually discussed him last
Yeah.
episode, getting shot and killed on the set
Yep.
because they had a blank in a squib
Yeah, lodged in the
in
chamber.
the chamber when they went to go check it and everything before it was still there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an actual bullet, but with squibs, there's still potential for basically shards and anything to fire
It was
through.
Yeah.
almost as much force as a bullet.
Yeah, didn't they stop using squibs?
They may have.
I think they mostly do with CG now because squibs
Yeah.
are just because there were all these extras and stuntmen who not only the squibs but the explosion packs they have would literally cause like deafness and
It's intense. Well, they have separate bullets that are meant to be shot at people, but this is one that's just for the effect to be shot not at somebody, just for like the muzzle flares, and that's what got him. Through my other job, actually, somebody who worked on the movie told me a whole story about how when he was killed there, he was having a dinner with the special effects people because he did special effects for all these movies, and the guy's like, I'm going to jail, I murdered somebody, and like lost his mind. And he was like, it was the worst dinner I've ever had.
Yeah. Well,
like,
yeah, you
fair
can't
enough.
fuck around. It's like, yeah, you're held responsible for it. And
It's
either you
Bruce
didn't see
Lee's
it,
son.
or
Whoa.
Bruce Lee's son is dead because of you.
that.
I forgot about that little tidbit.
Yes. It's crazy. So that movie made 11, basically round up 12 million. Maverick beat it that month at 17 million, which was some sort of like cowboy movie with Mel Gibson and Jodie Foster.
Ugh, pass.
Yeah, but I mean, you can pass because boom, round up to $30 million was made. You know how they're doing a lot of live action Disney movies
No.
now?
No.
They are. Aladdin, Lion King.
Hmm.
We discussed Little Mermaid on like the other.
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, they're all copying this great movie, The Flintstones, live action.
Oh my God,
Oh,
John Goodman.
shit.
John Goodman.
John Goodman. The second. Did we mention him last episode or the episode before?
No, I think we talked about John Goodman last episode.
Okay.
So
And it also reminds me of like other live action things, and it's kind of like this. This movie was fine. Flintstones was fine, but this movie was just kind of like piss.
Yeah.
Piss like when you give a Coke to Fuller, and
That's right.
he pisses the bed.
He's had too much to drink.
Fullercast. Hashtag Fullercast.
Yes.
And yeah, Flintstones. Also, the bad guy in that episode was Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Colin
all right.
Hoffman.
A show I watched the first episode of.
So here's something about me. I discovered this, I don't know, a month ago and was really bummed out about it.
Third nipple.
No third
Show
nipple.
it to us.
All right.
Does it get cold?
So, in the Flintstones live action movie, I was talking to a couple people at work and couldn't remember any of the actors other than John Goodman. And I was a little kid, but I remember being attracted to somebody in it.
John Goodman.
Barney's wife, as played by.
Mira Sorvino.
No, I'll let you look it up. Go on, look it up.
I'm IMDbing right now.
Felicity Huffman. James Vanderbeek. Laura Dern. Bruce Valanche.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Betty Rubble. Rosie O'Donnell. Holy shit. I
Yeah.
completely forgot that Barney Rubble was Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Whoa, who's Halle Berry?
Yeah. Halle Berry was in it, and for some reason,
She
my
was like
little
a hot bad girl.
kid
Oh,
mind was like
Rosie's
Rosie
got it.
O'Donnell.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Wow. You have a type. It's Rosie O'Donnell.
No, I don't.
Well, you've been
I don't,
dating Rosie
Matt.
O'Donnell for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it was good talking to you guys.
It's crazy that the B-52s played the BC-52s in that movie. That's something that I forgot and
That's
never
cute.
wanted to learn again.
Very cute. I like it.
All right, and we were going to do good news, bad news.
Sure.
From now on current events. There wasn't too much bad news this month, so I
Thank
just
God.
did some
Last
good
month
stuff.
was a doozy.
So Bobcat Goldthwait,
Sure.
comedian,
Mhm.
crazy voice,
Yeah.
set fire to the couch on The Tonight Show on May 6th.
Okay.
On May 20th, was charged with a misdemeanor for doing so.
Oh.
Yeah.
That Letterman guy's a real jerk.
Yeah, what an
It's
ass.
like, light my couch on fire.
I'll show you.
May 6th, Nelson Mandela is elected the first black president in South Africa.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Way to go, Mandy. May 12th, Pulp Fiction premieres at the Cannes Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to think about, because that movie seems like such like a cult classic, but
Yeah.
just based on the time frame and the actors, it could have been anytime really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy.
25 years ago.
Because they've all had so much of it. They've had huge careers, like everybody
Yeah.
in that. Other than like Uma Thurman, just kind of later. But
Yeah.
I mean, look at everyone else. Anyway, and then on May 22nd, the Toronto Raptors revealed their name and logo, joined the NBA.
Wow.
Which
I can't
is
believe it was
big.
that recent.
Yeah, very recent.
That's crazy.
And of course, this year was a big year for them.
Yeah.
But I also think that Toronto is the shittiest sports town in all of sports.
How come? Oh, because the
At
Maple
me?
Leaves?
Well, no, basically all of them. Because we
Okay.
know what the Raptors fans did this year. After our good pals, Cav basically exploded, and then they all cheered as he was injured and left.
Wait, I
You
don't
didn't
know
hear about
what
this.
this is.
Kevin Durant. There was some injury where he tore like the ligaments in the back of his calf,
Oh, shit.
and it was during the game, so they all started cheering and waving goodbye to
Oh.
him because like we're gonna win now. And to the point where the Raptors alone were like trying to call off the fans from cheering.
Right.
And then even Toronto, so TSN, Toronto, anything, all they do is just shit about, whine about other teams and other people. As an Islanders fan, I'm kind of biased because they call us classless and all this stuff, and they do terrible
call you
things.
classist?
Classless.
Oh, class.
Because we booed our old captain when he came back because he lied and then left and stuff. So they booed him the whole game, which was hilarious, and made chants like "Who's your daddy?" and like funny things.
Okay.
And it was like a big joke, but they have filmed. They're like, no one really did it. They had an outside crew, like they do those like giant pits of people that watch it on screens.
Yeah.
And there's people hugging and cheering and waving goodbye. Like the whole town was so excited that this
he
man
got
was
hurt.
greatly injured to the
What
point
the
where the
fuck?
teams needed to come up and be like, why the fuck did you do that? You're
Yeah.
all pieces of shit.
Wow.
And the team too. Also, Toronto Maple Leafs are very well known for sending death threats to one of their goalies' ex-wives.
Really?
Yeah, they're
I
very
think
terrible.
that's a neat thing to do.
So they have a very their history of sports and stuff. They're really shitty. But then again,
Yeah.
if you live in Canada, Toronto is really nice, and I enjoy going to Toronto.
Yeah.
But I mean, when everything else around you is just barren wilderness and sucks.
Yeah.
And this is the thing where if you are from Toronto right now,
Uh-huh.
like I still mean what I say.
Yeah. If you're from Toronto, we don't like you.
That's well, no, it's also the sports fans. And of course, it's just like
Turn it off. Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
The loudest. It's always like the loudest people get seen, but in this case, most of them were extra shitty for a very, very long time, and especially recently. And then they the whole town wrote like an apology letter.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
then they're like,
not
"Oh, we're fine."
accepted. Unsubscribe.
Anyway, sorry Toronto.
Sorry, Drake.
Sorry Drake.
Sorry,
Yeah.
The Weeknd.
Well, Drake was very upset and very upset with the people too. So
Yeah.
little Jimmy did a good job. Jimmy Wheelchairs.
You know something about my little Jimmy?
Yeah.
Wears a hat.
we
We talked about that last
We did.
episode.
Mine's a James cap.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Kevin Durant died. Toronto's bad. What else?
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
So we can go into this book. This book was reprinted 3 times. You are working off of the first printing,
Yes.
and Dave and I have the third printing, which was recently reprinted for the Horrorland series, which is, let me see. Oh yeah, it is called Creep from the Deep. It was released in April of 2008. It has a dope cover, and they reprinted our version for that.
Nice. Mine is First Scholastic Printing, May 1994.
That's right. And what is the flavor text on the front of yours?
It says, just when you thought it was safe, ...
Those 4 dots is
4
bullshit.
fucking dots.
So in the second reprinting that they did of this, where it just had the green cover,
Yeah.
they pulled that because that's a reference to the Jaws 2 tagline.
Oh. Right, it is. Yeah.
So they decided to do away with that and not pull off of pop culture. So in the reprint, it says swimming lessons won't help you now,
Okay.
which is
Whatever. It's
Doesn't
a little
really
more
make-
foreboding.
this is the third. We the second's a
You guys don't have
we
the
have the
flavor
third,
text?
so we don't even get flavor text on the new ones. Which
Okay.
kinda sucks.
But you do get a badass skull.
We get a badass skull in this.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have like leaves and stuff.
Leaves are neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like leaves.
So this book has a couple sequels.
Mm-hmm.
2 in the main 60. There goes my phone. It's 2 in the main 62 series. So we get this one, Deep Trouble. We don't get the sequel until book 58.
Yeah, it's late. And it's just like a piranha on the cover then.
Yeah. No, I remember that people were writing R.L. Stine asking to know what happens in the sequels because they were at death's door and were going to die, and they didn't want to die without knowing what happened.
Yeah.
And R.L. Stine said, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Is it okay to curse? I can't remember how much you guys curse on your podcast.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, fuck shit.
Okay.
We can.
Okay. All right.
From now on, no more cursing.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to say, for every time I want to curse, I'm going to say dirt clod.
All right, back to cursing.
Okay.
So this book was adapted into a comic in the Goosebumps graphics series by Amy Kim Garner. And that's 2007, so this is the second book that we've got that was part of that.
That's
And I
cool.
really want to check it out.
Yeah.
I've seen it at Barnes & Noble in like the kids section.
Okay.
When I go to buy these books. To get that sweet
I would check it
discount.
out.
What up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at that. The Goosebumps comics so far, our foray into it has been good.
Yeah.
And also, I forgot to announce in the beginning that this is Deep Trouble, Goosebumps Deep Trouble from May 1994. Award-winning book. It won the biggest award that any book can get.
Wow. What's the
Which
award?
is?
The...
Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award 1995.
Shit!
Best book.
Amazing. That's
1995.
Wow.
You did it, RL.
great. Incredible.
I hope he got slimed more than he's already slimed currently.
He got monster blooded.
He got monster blooded. Great. However, this book was not adapted into a TV episode. However, the sequel to this book was, and they only called it Deep Trouble instead of Deep Trouble 2.
Did we ever get Steve Irwin's thoughts on this book before he passed?
I think he passed way after this book.
Yeah.
Right. Did we ever get his thoughts?
They do talk a lot about stingrays.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Does he have any feelings about this?
Or, as Steve Irwin's ghost calls them, stungrays. Because that's past tense.
Now, I did hear... I legitimately heard Dr. D's voice and Alexander's voice as Australian in this book.
Well,
And
that's just because
it
you
made
are a
it-
racist.
Yeah, no, they were totally...
It made it
They
really
were
fun.
white to me. And I mean, like, English American
Oh.
white. Yeah, I was not catching an Australian
I
thing.
actually caught Doc Brown's voice where he's like, the kids, the shark.
Yeah.
I think it was on page 12. Dr. D says, Billy, are you all right? Dr. D studied me with concern. I coughed and nodded. I kicked my right leg. The slimy tentacle was gone. The dark creature had vanished. I heard you screaming and saw you threshing about, said Dr. D. I swam over from the boat as fast as I could. What happened?
See, I feel like that's very
Fun,
New
right?
Zealand, too.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you've
you have-
watched a lot of Flight of Conchords.
You have a little bit of South African in there, too.
Yeah.
My best way to get into the Australian accent is to say the word vagina. Ready? You ready?
I'm so ready.
Vagina. You gotta pull it out.
Vagina.
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 It's very good. I'm
Dingo.
sweating from that.
And then you
Vagina,
can drop
dingo.
it. You can drop it to join. Get up on the table. Let's have a look at that join.
Foster's.
You're just a friendly gynecologist.
Yeah.
Do you think this is
They call them
problematic?
guineas there.
Or do you think it brings people joy?
What?
This. Do you think it's problematic?
No, I'm loving this.
Okay.
This is for us right
We'll settle
now.
on joy.
So I still have more stuff about this fucking book. If you look at the spine of this book, this is the final time that Goosebumps is written in regular text and not done with the logo.
Yes, that's right.
So people like Matt that have all the originals lined up will notice that.
It's in like weird, just normal
It's like-
Arial font.
Yeah, it's like an Arial, like a Helvetica.
And
but
then it switches to
they
this
switch to the logo font.
on the spine.
So some cool stuff. This is something I'm going to post on our Instagram because I thought it was really awesome. The sea monster, Billy Sea Monster, was actually in the first movie, and they cut it because they feel like it wasn't as big of a. It didn't make a lot of sense to have a sea monster to show up in the middle of a
It
school.
did not. We can talk
So
about that.
there's an episode. There's a couple episodes with plants. They have, of course, don't stay out of the basement. Everything. So the scene was changed to vines pushing through the lockers, trying to get them as they ran out of the school. There's some art that was drawn for that scene of like the head of the monster at the end of the hallway while they're running away in the shadows, just glowing eyes with giant tentacles pushing through all the lockers trying to reach the kids. It looks metal as shit.
Yeah, I like that.
Really good. So that's something. It was supposed to be a reference to this book, which, to be fair, with what they had going in the movie, it's tough to really pull this story through to it. Here's the
Holy
How metal
shit.
is that?
That is awesome.
Oh shit!
You
We'll
see
post this on
but you see in the background
on the IG. Yeah, it's fucking badass. Really, for the listeners, it's kids in a school hallway. Tentacles are crashing through the ceiling and they're fighting it with a fire extinguisher.
and in the back it's just like the hallway lights off in the back and you just
Yeah.
see tentacles and these eyes peering through the darkness.
Yeah,
Awesome.
very cool.
Which will still stand by. The first Goosebumps movie is great.
It's good. I
Second
like it a lot.
one-
Did you see it, Dave?
No.
It's fun.
good.
It's a fun one. Second one.
Wait, is that
not
the
so
one
much.
with Jack?
Jack Black?
Black?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
it's really
great.
good.
It's a lot of fun.
It is good. And then only other thing is that Billy and Sheena are the second most reoccurring protagonists in all of the Goosebumps series,
Okay.
and that they are in 12 separate books.
Wow.
Only second to Carly Beth.
Okay.
So Horrorland, they are reoccurring characters. They show up a
Right.
lot. Also, RLS said that if he could be any character in all the books, when asked that question, he said he would be Billy.
Wow.
And as of now, I think I would want to be Billy more than any other character as well.
Yeah. Billy was pretty good.
He's good. Adventurous,
Yeah.
imaginative young boy.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Doesn't really do anything shitty.
Great
But
legs.
I mean, it's great because R.L. Stine wrote him. And, he wrote this book and he wrote these great characters. So maybe, before we get into this book, we can write a little story of our own.
Oh.
Thanks to one of the fun activities in the back of this book.
Yes.
We haven't done these in a little bit. If you get one of the new books, the reason I've been picking them up is we get fun little behind-the-scenes stuff. Like, we read a lot about R.L. Stine's writing process in the early
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Where he was just like I thought about with dogs. Why are they scary? And you're like, all right.
Why
So
do
in
they
this-
call it a dog?
Yeah. So it's called Undersea Adventure, starring you.
What?
Want to be like Billy Deep? Finish the following statements and make up your own undersea adventure. So it gives you
Okay.
a sentence and then it gives you options to write your story.
Okay.
How I see it is I'm just going to give you the prompt, you guys, and you're going to say what it is. So here's an example. I'll just choose the first option from all these.
Okay.
So we get, I am an intrepid undersea adventurer scouring the deep sea for treasure. Their option's not as funny. I am swimming into an underwater cave. I am carrying an underwater camera. Suddenly, I run into a mermaid. That's theirs.
Okay.
Let's see what you guys got.
Okay. So this is like Mad Libs.
It is, but I'm just going to give you the prompts, and then you tell me. You're going to build a story together. Do you guys want to each do your own, or do you want to go back and forth?
Let's go back and forth.
Let's
Yeah.
go back and forth. All right. Who wants to start? Matt?
Wait, we're picking words?
You finish the sentence.
Okay.
I am an intrepid undersea adventurer scouring the deep sea for...
Plantains.
All right, Dave. I am swimming...
How the fuck is that a prompt?
I am swimming...
Dave naked.
Naked.
Yeah. I am carrying...
Genital herpes.
Suddenly, I run into...
The Queen of France.
All right, what happens next? Write down anything that comes to mind and have fun crafting your tale.
Okay.
Remember what R.L. Stine always says, when you write, you're a writer.
Do you want us to come up with what happens next?
Sure.
The queen deigns me hot dog king.
But then is a little confused when saying, you promised me hot dog, but all you have are these plantains.
Right. And alas, you have no wiener.
No, because the wiener is genital herpes.
That's right.
You lost it.
I lost it in the war.
We all lost something.
See, guys? You can have fun with words.
Yeah.
Thanks, R.L. Stine.
Are there any more?
That was it.
Okay.
I mean, there's like questions. There's also facts
Oh my
for
God.
how not to get killed
Yeah.
by a shark.
These are fantastic.
And
Can you read one of them?
here's you know how in the back usually it's like fun facts, cool, interesting tips,
Yeah.
silly jokes.
This is like, if a perfect killing machine squares in on you, here's what you do.
Wow.
It's like, if you happen to find yourself on fire, here are the things to do. It's just like, if you have been given 3 weeks to live by a doctor, here's what you should do. Number 1, call your loved ones. Like,
That's upsetting.
there's a list of different shark attacks
That have
by
occurred?
date. Yeah.
Jesus.
How to survive a shark attack. Give us some
All right.
tips.
Like, there's 3, and the third one is amazing. One is don't panic. Sharks are attracted to splashing. You even have to feel calm. Sharks can sense fear. So, don't they
Number
can't.
1, don't be a pussy.
And they cannot sense fear. They sense commotion. Number 2, poking and punching is good, but aim for the eyes and gills. The nose is too close to the mouth. Your hand could quickly become an appetizer.
It's getting
The
dark.
third one is my all-time favorite. Number 3, make the shark work for his meal. I can't even fucking get it out. It's so awful. Make the shark work for his meal. Don't give up or play dead. As long as you fight, there's a chance the shark will give up and look for an easier meal. It's just... It's so quickly to be like, it's gonna fucking eat
Yeah,
you.
it's like,
Yeah.
come to grips with your mortality.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's some fun
Weird
tips in the bag.
tone for this book.
And then there's like an interview with R.L. Stein where he's like, I think water is creepy. I don't go on adventures. I stay home.
Yeah.
And there's a good story about why he thinks that underwater is scary.
The
And he
ocean
doesn't-
is scary.
The ocean's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
You're a big H.P. Lovecraft fan
Oh, yes.
as well, and that dude is just like, there could be anything under there that just elder gods, civilizations, things that you cannot unknow that will ruin your fragile mind.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember when the bloop happened?
Yeah.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was
That's
like...
the scariest thing ever.
So there was this really, really, really loud, long noise underwater that scientists picked up all over the place.
I did hear
And
about
it was approximately where Raylar, HP's Sunken City with Cthulhu, was supposed to be. So until they figured out that it was just like a glacier avalanche, everyone was like, it's Cthulhu.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's probably the Loch Ness Monster.
Taking a dump.
Yes.
Well,
In the
just
ocean.
it was the sound of like dropping something into the bathtub, like bloop,
Yeah.
but at a scale so big,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that like it's like God went and took a dump in our ocean.
Yeah. Which
But we
kind
all
of
know
he
there
did.
is no God other than Lemmy. Am I right? Jack and Cokes.
Yeah.
Let's all sing Triple H songs. Time to do a book.
Time to read this book.
All right, so
So
Deep Trouble.
Deep Trouble plot. It opens with a guy who is on a plane, and he has to make.
I was like, when's he gonna get off the rails? It turns out immediately.
He has to. He works for FedEx.
Okay.
He has to make these deliveries. It's Christmas Eve. The plane goes down. Okay, the FedEx plane.
He was a man.
Yes, he was a man.
He wanted to get his fortune told,
Uh-huh.
and he woke up as a boy.
Then he went to the store and he played a piano with his feet.
But he had a toothache,
That's right.
so he needed to figure skate it out of his mouth.
And he had sex with a lady, which is problematic.
Yeah.
But why does anyone want to play with a transformer that turns into a building?
That's true. So he wakes up on the island after he becomes a boy, and his only friend is a volleyball. And he bleeds on it, and then he like shakes it around and stuff, and he puts a little face on it, and he says, "You're my wife."
And then he looks at the volleyball and goes, "Volleyball, you ain't got no legs."
He
And then
yells
he-
at the volleyball for 2 days for not having legs.
Then he finds a crab, and he screams at the crab, and he says, "I did not kill my wife."
Get off my plane. And he says, looks into the camera when he's safe at home and says, "You're my favorite deputy."
And then finally, as he gets on the boat to leave, he turns to the captain and he says, "You make me want to be a better man."
All right, so now favorite writing.
Yes. So this book opens with Billy Deep.
Billy Deep, his little sister.
Little sister Sheena.
Sheena Deep.
Sheena is a punk rocker. Sheena is a punk rocker. Sheena is a punk rocker now.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're brother and sister.
All right.
And they are in the ocean.
They hang out with her uncle.
They hang out with their uncle, Dr. D.
But Dr. D is pretty much the Mr. Thornberry of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody remembers Thornberries.
Yeah, I remember Nigel.
Yeah.
Nigel, I remember him more than any other character
He's
in that
very
entire
distinct
show.
looking.
Yeah, he was like, smashing.
Yeah, yeah. He's
What
always
were you
like,
doing? What were you and Mom doing in the Humvee? Smashing.
Eliza, I saw you thrashing about out there. Just want to make sure you're okay. All right.
So they're hanging out with Uncle Dr. D
Dr. D.
Dr. D.
and his hunk of an intern,
Ooh,
yeah.
Alexander.
Grade A hunk.
Yeah.
Just a science jock.
Yeah. Let's talk about thornberries. I want to fucking see those thornberries.
What
You
a
want to
thorn-
put your thorn
I want
in his berry.
I want to thorn bury my face in his pecs.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
So they're hanging out. Billy is a very adventurous, imaginative kid.
Yeah.
Starts off with him talking about all the things that he's explored and found and the adventure he's currently on. Oh no, he was just joking.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I gotta jump in there. Because it opens up with him imagining that he's like this famous kind of underwater explorer, but mainly like a hunter of certain dangerous aquatic life. And so he's presumably, he in his imagination, he's hunting this stingray that's been terrorizing people. And he's talking about everyone's afraid of it. And he said that's why they call him, that's what... the hunt for the great white stingray. That's what they call him at Coast Guard headquarters. But me, I call him Joe. And I'm like, why are you giving a human name to something you're hunting to kill? It's really weird.
Right.
Like, why is the great white stingray not good? He's literally giving it a human attribute,
To
knowing
murder
that
it.
he's going to hunt it and kill it.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? This is the first book in a while where we haven't had like a bully, like a school bully.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like some Joe at school who's
Could be.
fucking around with him.
But I like this too because he's being a kid.
Yeah.
He's on vacation. He's just swimming in the ocean, which is
Snorkeling.
horrifying, but at the same time making his own narrative because he's alone with his sister and uncle and random college intern for the whole summer.
Yeah.
He makes his own fun. He's got a big imagination. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no. It's,
So they're in the water. He's splashing about, and and basically nothing really happens in the first two chapters. He's just sort of imagining. We're introduced to Sheena, and then chapter 3 is his encounter with a sea monster. And RL doesn't back out of this. He's not like,
No.
oh, it's a sea monster, but it's seaweed. It's like, it's a sea monster.
R.L. Stine pulls no punches in this entire book. There's one dream, which is like crazy, but then he's just like, that dream was fucking scary. I'm gonna go do it in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never really got any kind of real closure on that sea monster.
No. I don't
Like,
know why
it
it's
really,
there.
it didn't seem like his imagination. And
No.
because some weird shit goes on later, it could have been a sea monster. But it's just never really referenced again.
Yeah, it's a super loose end.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because there's
It's a big
so much.
loose end, though.
But I like because, as we say, the ocean is infinite, and there could be anything down there. And the whole thing is that Dr.
Ocean's
D...
not infinite.
It is.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Yeah, it goes into space.
That's what I've read. I saw that on Reddit.
It isn't infinite. I'm dumb. Space is infinite. Ocean is finite, but we'll never
But
see
look,
all of it.
It's big as hell.
It's
is
big as
big.
hell.
And we don't know what's...
And it's always growing. Sometimes
Down
I do
there.
a spit in the ocean, and then it got bigger.
That's right.
Sometimes I sweat in the ocean, and I
Yeah.
become the ocean.
That's right. You've contributed a lot of fluids to the ocean.
You're welcome, guys. I hope you enjoy swimming in me.
Yeah.
So he gets pulled down and he's like, fuck. And they're like, shut up. Stop complaining. You got an imagination.
Right. It was seaweed.
Let's race back to the boat.
Yes.
And he's like, I'll take a shortcut because my sister would never take a shortcut through poison.
Yeah. So I learned something from this book, which
Yeah.
is that red coral exists, which burns you.
Yeah, I meant to look that up. Is that all red coral? Like, it couldn't be, right?
I wouldn't
Like,
think so. I would think it's certain areas, probably.
And they made a big thing about how it could cause paralysis.
Right, if
Which
you ingest it.
I want to look at.
Or
It was
you get
that
some
if
blood.
you ingest it, you just eat a handful of coral.
Yeah.
Because when he was climbing up on the coral later in the book, I was like, he's going to get paralyzed.
Yeah.
What a really depressing book where he's like, I used to run around and skip with my friends.
Yeah.
Now you have 12 more chapters of me in a bed.
Now I play chess by blowing into this tube.
Or if he just slowly sinks
Yeah.
to the bottom.
I am Johnny Deep. So he swims through and then he like bumps the coral and he's like, it felt like I was on fire. Who knew that they would warn me about something that was dangerous?
Who put these packets of Taco Bell hot sauce down there? Fire sauce, sorry.
And thank God that
Elitists.
Dr. D, the creepiest fucking uncle
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
saves him and brings him back up and he's like, yeah, you're gonna burn for like a day. It happens. Only
Yeah.
when I pee is when
Don't
it
worry
burns,
about
but
it.
yeah, we're gonna have some fucking lunch. And then they're like, yeah, Alexander makes the lunch because he's our college intern and he
Yeah.
makes like diarrhea sausages.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
He, like, it's not even like he's just not a good cook. It's like he's very handicapped in what he, like, makes for that, like, marinating squid in its own ink. I'm like, that's a
Well, they do
dangerously
they-
insane individual.
They do that though. Like squid ink is used with like certain pastas and stuff,
Mhm.
but you don't just like
Marinate it.
yeah. But the,
No.
and you didn't even cook the
Yeah, it wasn't
squids.
cooked. It was fucking raw squid, marinated in its own ink.
He is basically like a personal chef for Ninja Turtle pizza toppings.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, he got mad because they were, well, we'll
Yeah,
get
he
go
sucks.
down that road.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to go into how creepy Dr. D is.
We're all thinking about the same thing here, I'm assuming.
His name is Dr. D. In reality, he has the ultimate porn star name. Dude's name is Dr. Deep.
Yeah.
And page 6, are you looking for page 6 right now?
No.
Because on page 6 it says Dr. D's research takes him all over the world. He isn't married and doesn't have any kids. He says he's too busy staring at fish.
No, my coup de grace comes at
57?
26. I'm just gonna read a passage if that's okay with everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
They're talking about how Dr. D may lose his funding, and Billy is expressing concern that the boat might get taken away by the university. This is what Billy says. Dr. D spent the whole... Oh, I'm sorry. Usually Dr. D is fun to be with, but that Christmas visit was a nightmare. I guess their doctor came inland to come visit them. Dr. D spent the whole time pacing around the house. He barked orders at us like a sea captain. Billy, sit up straight, he yelled at me. Sheena, swab the decks. All right, that's legitimately crazy. But
Yeah.
it gets so much worse
It
in a
gets
second.
so much better.
Finally, on Christmas Eve, my dad couldn't take it anymore. He told Dr. D to shape up or ship out. Dr. D ended up spending a good part of Christmas Day in the bathtub playing with my old toy boats. As long as he stayed in the water, he was back to normal. That is a crazy
insane man.
person.
Yeah.
And, like, these kids' parents are like, go fuck off with your uncle on the open ocean.
Yeah. Because
For a
apparently
summer.
there's no laws there.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. He's disturbed. I wrote down that it's very funny that he, like, doesn't know he's in a house and thinks he's on a boat. He's
Yeah.
like, swab the deck, Sheena. He's sweating.
And they're like, here, go play Army Man in the bathtub. And he's like, oh boy.
Okay.
He
Me
just
and my boats.
sat in the bathtub all
that
day,
was my
just
other thing I wrote.
growing
Just, like,
wrinkled and pushing a
Ugh.
toy boat around.
So it's at this time that he's got the fire coral, everything's going on. Here's people show up at the boat. and they're talking loudly
Uh-huh.
in Dr. D's quarters.
Yep.
Billy decides to lean in on that door.
That's right. He's going to get a good old listen.
It's a zoo. It's basically SeaWorld.
Yeah. These are representatives from SeaWorld.
Yeah.
They call them Marina Zoo, and they say that we know there's a mermaid out here.
Yeah.
This is when because I had no idea this book was about mermaids.
No,
so it's
I
just
didn't
like,
either.
hey everybody, we get it. And also even before they're like, there's a shark in the water, and I'm like, I seen that on the cover. I know that shit.
Yeah.
Also, there's a sea monster, and I'm like, oh, that's a big twist.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, fuck this shit. We got the plot now. There's a mermaid out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know that you are king of the ocean. We heard about that whole boat bathtub shit. You're fucking nuts enough to get this bitch.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do it the deep way.
And he kind of goes with it too easily. He's
Yeah.
like,
He's like, I got it.
he's like, well, couldn't that just be stories? And they're like, no, it's not stories, it's real. And
Yeah.
he's like, okay, it's
A
real.
sailor at a bar told me it was real.
Yeah.
We checked with many sailors at bars, and they all say it's real.
We know this is a university-funded boat, but if you find
Yeah.
a mythological sea creature, dibs.
Yeah.
And he just went along with it.
Yeah.
Because we will give you, wait, $1 million.
Whoa, Dave, you put your pinky on your mouth like Dr. Evil when you said that.
I didn't, but I wish I did. And I thought about it. That's not a lot.
No.
No, it's not.
I mean, I even went and figured out with inflation what that would mean now.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it was 2019 when we're recording this, it would be $1,728,360.
Okay.
So, like, still below $2 million.
That
Yeah.
would probably be funding for like 3 or 4 years.
Probably.
He would definitely be fired afterwards because the university again would be like, "You found this thing
And you
representing us. It like everything you find is supposed to go to us, and you sold it to a zoo for personal profit."
Yeah.
So he would lose his job, but like still, you
Right.
know, he would have a good 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Right.
They'd be like, listen, that old whale's dying. When he kicks it, we'll have nothing to put on our t-shirts. Please find this mermaid.
Yeah.
So at this point, Billy is keeping the secret. Don't tell anybody that there's a mermaid out there and that we're going to find it. Which
Yeah.
basically means don't tell Sheena.
Yeah, he like listens too hard and crashes into the room, completely nude and covered in canola oil.
Yeah. Well, I heard he was wearing a nightgown but nothing under it, so it bunched up
And he got so startled when he fell that he shit right up into the air with a loud, wet fart.
If you don't have to believe us, just read the vivid description R.L. Stein
Yeah.
put in the book.
But he does agree not to tell Sheena.
Which I circled in my book and was like, that would be awesome. Because, like, his little sister and him don't really get along that well. They have the typical brother and sister dynamic. And if you were told that there was this huge, earth-shattering secret, and, like, by the way, keep it from your asshole sister,
Yeah.
I would have been stoked.
Yeah.
I would have been so excited about that.
Like, I was chosen.
Yeah.
This is information that I have.
Also, Billy Deep wants to be an Indiana Jones at heart. He wants to discover this. So, being the person that discovered a mermaid would make him famous.
Hell yeah.
And at this young age, he would already be one of the most renowned explorers, discoverers of the deep.
Yeah.
So, he's pumped. He decides, I'm going to find this mermaid before this science boat or anybody.
Yeah.
So that night, he decides to slip out when everyone's asleep and
Yep.
just go swimming into the lagoon
Yep.
by the poison where the sea monster was.
Correct. Unfortunately, you know who else is out at this time of night?
Oh, I hope it's nothing scary.
Dave. And Dave? It's a shark.
No, I thought it was the sea monster.
It's a sea monster.
I knew it. You're right.
So the sea monster's back. He opens his brown eye and goes to swallow up Billy. But Dr. Deep is awake now. Or Sheena's awake now. I don't know what happened.
Oh, it was
Someone's
a dream.
awake
It was a
somewhere.
dream.
Oh, it was a dream?
It was a dream.
It was a dream.
So,
Which I knew the whole time.
Which the
Billy
next-
woke up.
Billy woke up in his bed. He was
It's
totally
early.
fine. Yes.
And you know what they say? The early bird swims in the middle of open water in the morning by himself.
That's what they say, Dave. That's an old, folksy sailor's phrase.
You go down to any sea bar, any sailor bar, you'll hear that said.
Yeah. It's on the wall.
They'll say, the early bird goes out swimming.
Early in the day to catch the ocean eel.
It's ocean time.
Ahoy!
Ahoy hoy.
That's the saying.
So apparently Billy is partially deaf at points because he decides to pop out into the ocean and get startled. Oh my god, something's behind me. It grabbed me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my sister. Apparently I can jump off a boat into open water and not notice that she's following.
Now I'm back. Now I know where we are. Because this is where Sheena starts to run away, swim away. And Billy's like, that's weird. I must have done an especially gruesome fart. But
You're right back. Exact page.
it turns out there's a fin behind that big boy. And it's a shark. It's a hammerhead shark.
Which, honestly, know quite a bit about sharks. Pretty docile species. Probably wouldn't. I don't think there's been any recorded deaths from a great white from a hammerhead
until this
shark.
book.
Yeah.
Because then it rips Billy's fucking leg off and then uses it to beat him to death.
That's right.
Yeah, a shark does bite his leg. No one seems concerned about it.
Yeah,
including Billy.
Doesn't it like almost bite his leg?
No,
it bites his
grabs
leg
him at one
and
point.
pulls him under.
Oh shit.
Okay, so this is the most graphic, violent scene in all of RLS yet. That doesn't deal with monsters. Doesn't deal with zombies or ghost face melting. Like, there's zombie children in the first book who fall, smash their heads on tombstones, and their eyes fall out of their head.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A couple books ago, there is a ghost who's playing piano, stares, and face melts into putty, and eyes and skull just has what's left of the visceral bones and shit off their face.
That's right.
It's a ghost, it's fair. This is just a little boy in the water being attacked by a shark for a few pages.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. And he responds appropriately. Like, the level of terror and adrenaline dumping and everything, like, it's on point.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
He tries to get up onto the fire coral.
Yeah, that part is fucked up. Because you know from early in the book how painful it is. And
he's burning himself.
He's in survival mode.
He tapped it and was almost incapacitated.
Yeah.
Now he's climbing onto it and talking about the burning, but the shark grabs onto his leg as he's pulling himself up and drags him down.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It wants its prey, baby.
So it looks like he's a goner. It's circling him. He can't hold on anymore. He's like, I'm come to peace.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Sheena, you can have all of my mighty maxes.
That's right. But guess who else is under the sea?
That
Michael
Jamaican crab.
Clark Duncan Jr.
Can I change my answer? What Dave said.
We both miss Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, I miss him.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that he was in this book.
I know. They wrote him very well. It's a mermaid.
Holy shit.
Yeah, suddenly a tail slaps the shark in the eyeball. And then and then fights him underwater, and there's like a froth that appears and all this other shit. And the shark swims away. And then the mermaid reveals herself. And I'll just say it, Billy is extremely horny for mermaids.
He looks at her and tugs on himself for almost 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 15 pages.
Yeah. And he's like, the burn.
Should have washed my hands.
Yeah.
It's like a jalapeno.
But she also reaches out and touches him and heals him.
Yeah.
Heals the burn of the fire coral.
Yeah. And she makes like little cuckoo noises.
Yeah.
She's like,
coo. Yeah.
But also, I think
we're
led to believe that maybe these mermaids live within the fire coral. If it doesn't affect them and they can heal that.
Can we all do a thing? Because I was thinking about this. Based on what we read in the book, can we go around and each do what we think the mermaid sounds are like?
Yeah.
okay. Well, I just did mine.
Okay. Mine's gonna be a. All right, Dave, you're on deck.
Mine's gonna be like, and she's like, "Oh, you saved me," and she's like, it's like, "Oh, thanks, you're very loud."
You summoned my cat.
Oh, Murph, you speak mermaid.
And then it's like,
Yeah, a lot of clicking.
sometimes.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted out of that.
Yeah.
So he's just like, well, there's still a shark out here, and I'm blown away by getting super horny about this fish girl. And then all of a sudden, they're calling a dang net. Guess who the deadliest catch is? Man.
That's right.
Because Dr. Deep went deep in that ocean and netted up himself a mermaid and a nephew.
He's like, we doing some fucking tonight.
Wait, who started the company H&M? Do we know who was his name? Billy? Because I think it stands for horny for mermaids. Too much of a stretch?
No, it was a walk, but I really liked where it ended
Stretched
up.
like his erect wiener.
That's right.
Because he's so horny for mermaids.
Where do you think a mermaid does a number 2 from?
Probably just out the mouth.
I was going to say each nipple.
Okay.
And like a trail, like chemtrails on a...
Also, what was... how is she just...
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. I was thinking it too.
I was thinking too. I'm bracing myself for this right now.
Yeah, and because... I would
Wait, you go.
What?
I was just going to say...
yeah, okay. All right. No.
I was
All
just...
right, just we'll stop. Just put it out there.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It-
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be scientific about this.
Uh-huh.
Are her mammaries exposed?
Yes!
Yeah,
That's
you.
what I was
Jesus.
wondering. Was that what we were all wondering?
Yeah, that's
Because
what
they're
we
always
were all
like,
wondering.
her head looked like a human head, and she had long blonde hair. Her torso, fishtail. Like,
yeah.
Like-
It's like, is she wearing a seashell bra, or...
Yeah, and then like I was like, is there gonna be big mermaid boobs in this? And then
Right.
it was like, oh, she's Billy's age, so she's 12, and I'm like, oh shit,
No.
like,
That's terrible.
and I'm just like, is everyone just not acknowledging her nipples? Like,
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Ready? So, I love this too because, bobbing in the water, I forgot my burning pain as I gaped at her. To my amazement, the mermaid looked just as the zoo people had said she would. Her head and shoulders were smaller than mine, but her flashing green tail stretched out, long and powerful. Her wide sea green eyes sparkled. Her skin gave off a pale pink glow. I stared at her, unable to speak. She's real, I thought, and she's so beautiful. At last I found my voice. You saved me, I stammered. You saved my life, thank you. She shyly lowered her eyes and cooed at me through shell pink lips. What was she trying to say? But she's also creepy too. Like, she smiled and uttered that haunting low hum. By the way, when I said that, can you add the porno music again?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good.
maybe we were picturing her wrong because it said her head was smaller, so now I'm picturing her head being the size of a tennis ball.
That would be horrifying. There's your goosebump.
That is. So I think that's probably why they didn't do the TV show, because they'd be like, so RLS, we really want to do this one. What's the most important thing? I know this. He's like, you must show titties. Like, and they're like, RLS, it's a kid channel. He's like, I wrote this for the titties. Like, RLS, please stop saying that. We are a children's station. And he's just like, RLS, want titty. And they're like, okay, you and your mole need to leave my
chambers.
soundstage. Yeah, please.
Yeah,
That's the thing, because they always kind of discuss it, but they could have just been like, she had seaweed wrapped around her chest, and as her skin said, they could have gone into it, but he just like leaves it like,
Yep.
right. Yeah, just say like her long hair wrapped around her torso or something like that, like her body,
Yeah.
her bazongas.
her jugs.
Her jugs had no nipples, which didn't make this sexual, and I cannot get in trouble. Signed, R.L. Stein.
So relieved that you guys were wondering about that too.
Yeah, there's no mention of that. So
Literally in my notes, it just says, "Is she naked?" Page 57.
Because like if her torso is a fish, then whatever. She just has like a cloaca or. But yeah,
yeah.
I thought it a few times.
Yeah. Do you think she produces caviar?
Yeah, if she's bottom half fish, then yeah.
Yeah.
She just splurts her eggs out.
You know something crazy? Do you know that there's an episode of the Magic School Bus where they go through like a fish, like salmon kind of thing, and they all become fish eggs. Like all the kids get like turned into little fish eggs, and then they're like, "Oh, now the male fish comes." And there's a video. Someone sent it to me. The fish just go over the eggs and just blow a load all over these kids' eggs in the Magic School Bus.
Wow.
What the fuck?
We'll cut that in here. An audio clip of that.
It's
So, yeah, he gets saved by a mermaid. Billy gets saved by a mermaid. But before you know it, I'm going to kind of like speed up the plot a little.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before you know it, there's a big old net wraps around Billy and the mermaid, brings them on board the USS Cassandra. And Billy's like, "Ow, this hurts my skin. I'm a little wiener." And it turns out it's Dr. Deep. And he's like, "Oh my God." Dave is showing us oh my fucking God.
Holy shit.
Dave is showing us the Magic School Bus clip, and a fish is rocketing jizz onto
And it's
the
white.
eggs.
They didn't even make it a different
yeah.
color.
It's still going. There's like 16 fluid ounces.
all right. Was there a plot? I forgot.
Yeah, so... Dr. D captures Billy and the mermaid. Billy is incensed. He is now, in the beginning, he wanted to murder an animal. Now he's an animal rights advocate / human hybrid advocate. And he says, "You can't capture mermaid for $1 million. First of all, I'm in love with her. And she smells like Bed Bath & Body Works. But second, I love her. So put her down." And Dr. D says, "No fucking way, dude. I want that $1 million bucks."
He takes a hacksaw and cuts her head off.
Which is easy because it's the size of a tennis ball.
And then she grows a new one like Tony Shalhoub and Men in Black.
Do you have any idea how much that stings?
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Your
was really
accents
good.
today are through the roof.
Thank you.
I'm loving this.
Seriously, man, you should go to Hollywood.
Really? Do you
Yeah.
think I have what it takes?
So you're R.L. Stein.
Hello, I'm R.L. Stein. Welcome to my dead house.
That's our favorite clip.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Let her go," and he's like, "Fuck no, we're gonna do science."
Yeah.
So he's trying to let her go. She's like, "She's hungry and sad and crying,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "Here, I made the shittiest squid." And he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I
yeah.
fed it to her, who is a fish, and she likes it, but we're not eating that shit."
Well, before that, doesn't he like try to feed her a cookie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he drops a dry cookie into the seawater.
Okay.
And
count of
Alexander
three.
lets him.
Count
Yeah,
of three.
I know.
Which cookie do you think it was?
It was
1,
definitely
2, 3.
Famous
Chips
Amos.
Ahoy.
Oh, Chips Ahoy.
What an asshole you are.
Famous Amos?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, yeah, like, it's definitely better than Chips Ahoy, but, like...
It's the 90s. A lot of famous Amos out there.
No. It's the
man,
blue
Chips
container
Ahoy.
that doesn't even
In
have
fact,
that
Dave-
resealing top.
Do you want to be your co-host now? Is Matt out?
I think it's Dave and Bumps.
Welcome
It's-
back to the Daves.
Dave Bumps.
It's Dave and Brian now.
Yeah.
Um,
DDB.
yeah, so the cookie disintegrates because that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
But then, he feeds her the squid tentacles, and she smiles for the first time ever.
And Alexander's like, "Oh, this Subway likes my cooking."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Time for bed." And they all go to sleep.
Again, how irresponsible that they put a chocolate chip cookie in there. Like, chocolate kills dogs. And, like...
Well, like, what do you
Yeah,
think's
but
gonna
dogs
happen
don't
in the
have
water?
titties.
No, I know dogs. Well, they do have titties. You can suck all 6 of them. But, like, the thing is, it would make sense for oceanic life as food inside the tank, like the squid, because that's something ultimately from her environment. There's nowhere in her world where a chocolate chip cookie would come into play, and
No,
she
it's-
could die
that's
instantly.
No.
Because one time you dropped a cookie.
No, Keebler elves and there's Keebler snorks.
Well, yeah, it falls apart. I mean, at least arrange a situation where she reaches up and like takes it. She could like come out of the water to eat it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
I'm not a mermaidologist.
Yeah. What am I? A mermaid man? Merman?
Well, they go to bed.
You go to bed. You're going to bed.
They go to bed.
Oh, I'm going to bed.
They go to bed, and they hear a boat.
Yeah. So basically, a bunch of fucking thugs want to jack the mermaid. Yeah.
They're terrorists, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like.
And they're armed heavily with one club.
That's right. One of them has a small hammer.
So they're like a very goth baseball team.
Yes.
It's like a bunch of guys in all black with one bat.
But they've already taken out Dr. D, who's apparently their best fighter. And he's unconscious on the floor. And so Billy's like, "Hey, don't do that," and gets like shoved down. And they keep just saying like, "Get out of here, kid." And Sheena's like, "Help!" And they're like, "Fuck you, girl." And that's really it. And they end up taking the mermaid, and they put Billy and Sheena.
Whoa, wait.
in the
And
tank.
Dr. D.
Back
But you
up
got the
here.
important thing.
Yeah.
How did they know a
Alexander.
mermaid was there?
What?
Who helped them out? How did they know a mermaid was there?
No, I know, but doesn't Alexander come out after they're all in the tank, and they're like, "Thank God he's here."
Alexander came out before. Though Alexander double crosses them
Yeah.
and worked out a deal with these other guys for $20 million. Which, like, what was his pipeline into the black market that he was able to arrange that so quick?
Dark web.
Dark web.
Probably.
Which at that point was probably in like AOL chat room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they're loading the kids, these 10 and 12-year-old kids and his boss into a tank to ultimately kill them. And Alexander brushes it away by saying, "Hey, like, if I try to stop them, they'll kill me." And
Yeah.
just like hops
My
over the
bad.
side.
And I just did the same math, and 20 million now would be $34,567,200.
Wow.
Yeah, see, that's worth
Seems
it.
nicer now.
I'd kill some kids for that.
Yeah, kill 2 kids and some guy, and plus it's not even illegal. It's open ocean, guys.
Yeah.
All's fair in love and war and open ocean.
Yeah. So then they push the tank into the sea. So that's fun. And
Speed off.
yeah, and then they speed
They
up.
say, "Smell you later."
Yeah. So they can't get out. They're struggling. Wah, we're going to die. And then they try to open the top. It won't open. And suddenly, a mermaid opens it. Hooray, we're free.
There's like a sea of mermaids.
Yeah, there's a
there's a whole
bunch of
bunch of
old
them.
mermaids.
And they lift them up to the air, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Mermaids, we want to save your friend. Which way?" And they're like, "Follow me." But meanwhile, they're
Yeah.
like, I forgot the noise I made. Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. I'm going whale noise.
It sounds like
Aggressive whale noise.
the cranberries.
Oh yeah.
And I like how Billy's initial reaction is, "Oh, they came here to gang beat us to death for revenge." And I mean, of course,
Fair.
they help them out, but it's mentioned on the boat when they have her held hostage that the mermaid keeps emitting these sonar pulses, which I thought was a cool little thing because whales and dolphins and everything do that.
I didn't mean to draw your attention to that. I was just getting it out of my way.
Yeah,
I have
I
a cute little bookmark that I distracted Dave
It
with.
has a lion on it. I like it. It's mine now.
No.
I like those glasses too.
Okay, they're
Um,
yours.
But yeah, no, I like that. It was good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good.
It's a good book.
So they go over and they get to the boat. They're all asleep, and they're like,
They're-
"Why would
they're
they fall
criminals,
asleep? Didn't
yeah.
they think we were gonna come back?" And like, they were the only people that knew that we had the mermaid. We're the only people that knew they have the mermaid, and now they think we're dead.
Yeah.
So they don't have a tank for. This is so irresponsible. They don't
Yeah.
have a tank for the mermaid, so they just like tied her up like a dog when you go into the like pharmacy
Yeah, could
on
have
the
just
side
been
of their boat.
devoured by a shark. Also, why did these guys just killed 2 children and Dr. D? Do you think there's any chance in hell they would have honored their deal with Alexander? They would have put a bullet behind his ear the second they got that mermaid
Yeah.
on the boat.
Well, I wrote it here. They were probably nervous about him because it just said, just goes to show, never trust a jock.
Yeah.
Unlike Brian, who's a goth jock.
That's right. That's okay. That's permissible.
Science jock, though, no such thing.
Fuck off.
He's just in it for the $20 million.
That's right. So they get there, and they don't do a good job with the element of surprise. And one of the guys is like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing here?" And
Lights a torch,
lights a torch.
throws it at their boat.
That's right. Their boat's on fire now.
It's like
but
video game physics.
all the mermaids corral together, and they save their mermaid friend. They untie her. And then I forget what happens.
Then the mermaids like attack the boat, and they're like,
Right.
"Well, a job well done," and they just drive back to their boat.
Mm-hmm.
And they have
Yeah.
cereal for breakfast. Cool detail because
Yeah.
Alexander's not there to make them diarrhea pancakes.
Yeah, that's right.
And the zoo shows up.
Right. And they're like, "Where's our mermaid, dude?" And Billy's like, "Is Dr. D going to give them the location of the mermaid now that we know where she is and get the $1 million?" But he does not.
He doesn't. All right. Which is the most scientifically irresponsible thing ever. He is literally the worst scientist that's ever been. He discovered a mythological sea creature. He's not a grocer. He's a marine biologist that studies fish. He discovered a new fetish. He discovered a new fetish.
Well, I think Billy
Fucking
did that.
mermaids.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
Yeah, because worst marine biologist, but best uncle.
That's right.
Nope, shit uncle too. He's gonna lose his funding, and he's gonna go crazy when he gets onto land.
It's okay. There's enough
That's true.
bathtubs.
Yeah.
We'll find out in the sequel. Well, we'll see if we find out in the sequel because he rips up that check, tears it a new one, and he says, "Hey, you wasted my fucking time. I am a serious man. Get the hell off my boat. There is no such thing as mermaids." Billy's so proud. He's like wants to go see the mermaids and thank them for everything. Goes out to the lagoon, and then there's a playful tug on his leg. Then a not so playful tug on his leg, and he's like, "Oh, it must be the mermaids." Wrong. Old Brown Eye.
Brown Eye's back.
It's the monster,
Yep.
and that's where we end.
That's it.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
good.
All right.
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was good. It was different than, like I said, before this, most of the books seemed to be like bully at school, some bullshit. Fuck.
It was just as refreshing as Curse of the Mummies.
Yes. But just the change in setting was welcome.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to do our good and our bad. Dave, you're our guest. We'll begin with you. What did you think was good?
So good, pretty much all of page 39, which I will now read very slowly. My eyes darted eagerly around the lagoon. The waves lapped gently under me. The water sparkled as if a million tiny diamonds floated on the surface. Where was the mermaid? I knew she was there. I knew I would find her here. From deep below me, I heard a low rumble. I listened hard. The sound, faint at first, grew louder. The waves tossed as the sound became a steady roar. It rumbled like an earthquake on the ocean floor. The waves tumbled and tossed. I struggled to stay on top of them. What was happening? Suddenly, from the middle of the lagoon, a huge wave swelled. It rose high, like a gigantic geyser. Higher over my head, as tall as a building. A tidal wave? No. The wave broke. The dark creature pushed up underneath it. Water slid off its grotesque body. Its single eyes stared out darkly at me. Its tentacles writhed and stretched. I screamed. I really like that whole passage.
Awesome. Thing that makes it scary too, like the setup before that even, is he's like, nobody knows I'm leaving the boat. Everybody's asleep. I am in going to swim out in the dark into open ocean alone.
Yeah.
And then you get that awesome description. Kicks ass.
Cool. What else?
That's all I got.
Okay.
No, there's one or two other things, but one of you guys should do one because I don't have a bunch of place marks in my book like you guys. I just have circles written around things I like.
I could burn through mine really quick. I thought page 17, I learned about fire coral. That's nice. Page 26, Dave Mombert, as you went through his uncle being in the house and like losing his mind and ending up playing in a bathtub is sad but also funny. Page 39, $5 word, grotesque. It's good for kids to learn about that. Page 52, he says, the shark wanted to fight. I thought that was very funny. I liked page 55, some description there I can read. It says, as the waters calmed, I heard a low, musical sound. It was beautiful and slightly sad, whistling and humming at the same time. It sounded like a whale, but this creature was much smaller than a whale, etc., etc. I just thought its song being beautiful and sad, I thought that was kind of nice. And he would use the description, it's siren, a lot, which is, that's good that he at least did that. Just a general note, I thought it was a good call in a series that doesn't always use the same level of tact. It was a good call to not have the mermaids speak and just have them make noise.
Agreed.
That's very good. So that's what I got for the good.
Cool. I really liked the intro. I thought it was fun. It reminded me of being a kid and playing with action figures.
Yeah.
Or just like imagining when you're stuck somewhere that's like not that fun and kind of building a narrative around what you have and like the activities you're doing. Which like we all used to do that. Like bring action figures somewhere and what was like the side of like furniture was a cliff or something. Or when I remember like swimming in the pool, and you ever swim in the pool and in the deep end and be like, there's a shark? Yeah. And like scare the shit out of yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Like he's like living that in the ocean and doing that whole kind of little kid imagination that changes what your day is going to end up like. I love that. It really brought me back. I liked on page 36 when he falls through the door. He's like, I landed in a heap in the center of the cabin. They're all looking at him and everything. It says, hi everyone, I murmured. Felt my face burning and knew that I was blushing. Nice day for a mermaid hunt.
Yeah, I like that too. Just because the idea of falling through a door while listening is somehow a great fear of mine, even though it's not a situation that really comes up that much in day-to-day life. Like,
it's crazy. I felt like Billy just had a really strong voice in this book to the point where his character was set. And a lot of the characters, like if you get Gabe, Billy, a lot of people say the same things, especially when it's a third-person book. But with this first-person book, which we're going back to, which was awesome, we really get a sense of who he is, his humor, his like bravery, and just like this little passage. Alexander said, "You really can trust Billy. He's very serious for someone his age." You bet I'm serious, I thought. I'm William D. Jr., world famous mermaid catcher. He just learned about mermaids, and he's like, you bet your fucking ass I'll help you. I'm the world famous mermaid catcher, bitch. Like, he's so funny in that, and then when he's afraid, you get to hear his, like, inner thoughts, and he still keeps that up. But, I don't know. He's such a character, and I love that about him.
And I like that you can tell the first time it's the first time he's challenged Dr. D's morals. Yeah. When Dr. D decides to keep the mermaid. It's like you can tell it's something of a turning point. Like Uncle D, Dr. D, I should say, has been strange in the past, but this seemed to be the first time where he was contemplating that he might be a bad guy.
Right. Yeah, he kept trying to remind himself, like, he's a good man. He's a good man. He's a good man. It's like, is he?
This is the best sentence in the entire book. The monster blinked its muddy brown eye at me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you're doing multiple adjectives, you don't always, but it would be proper to do muddy, comma, brown eye. No comma here, which means he's describing the brown eye as muddy,
Yeah.
which means this monster had a dirty butthole. And that is a good sentence.
That's right. Do you think that song Brown Eyed Girl is about...
It's probably about this book.
Okay.
I also want to say that the shark attack may be R.L. Stein's best writing yet.
Yeah, I
Like,
really love that.
Just like I've just circled way too much of it. Just things like the shark. It would say like over and over again, like over and over again. The shark. The shark swam around me in a tight circle. His tail swished, sending up waves of water over me. The shark. I stared at the monster in wide-eyed horror. He swam so close I could see him clearly. He was big, at least 10 feet tall. His head was wide and hideous, long like the head of a hammer, and an eye on each end. I heard my voice quivering. No, something cold brushed my leg. The shark. My stomach lurched. I threw my head back and let out a howl of sheer terror. Then it's like pain jolted down my spine. The shark had bumped me with its snout. My body rose out of the water, then hit the surface with a smack. I froze. The shark was hungry. It wanted to fight. It circled me again, then zoomed straight for me. Its jaws opened. I saw rows and rows of sharp teeth. I screamed with a hoarse no. I thrashed, panicked. I kicked with all of my strength. The razor teeth brushed by, just missing my leg. The reef. I had to get to the reef. Just diving towards the coral. And just even at the thing, like, I'd almost made it. Soon I'd be safe. With a mighty kick, I hoisted myself onto the reef, but was yanked back into the water. My stomach slammed against the side of the reef. I felt a sharp stab of pain in my leg. I tried to pull my leg away. I couldn't. I was caught in the jaws of the shark. My mind screamed with terror. The shark. It's got me. It's dope.
That is
Very fun.
Suspenseful.
Yes. Love it. I liked when Billy compares his small cabin. They talk about how his cabin is basically just enough for a bed and a cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
That's like all together, and he describes how unhappy he is there thinking about her being in the tank and how unfair that is. I think that's a pretty cool perspective.
Yeah.
And then I also like when the mermaids are all surrounding them and they think they're going to kill them.
Yeah.
They give them this animal-esque feature on page 101 where it's like the other one's like, she's beautiful and she has long hair and everything. But then like that low hum, which turns it all on its head. It's just like the mermaids swarmed around the boat, their pale eyes peering up at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's my good stuff. I liked a lot in this book.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, it was good. I thought overall it was a good entry.
Yeah.
Do you have more good stuff, Dave, or are you good?
No, really, you guys pretty much hit.
You got some shit stuff? Some bad stuff?
Not much, honestly. Only because I'm not as I like. Once I begin reading or watching something, I just kind of sink into it, and I'm like, this is fine.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I have a couple. I have like one or two small stupid things. Like for breakfast this morning, he served us whole wheat pancakes. It sank to the bottom of my stomach like the Titanic going down, with an exclamation point, and I don't see the reason for that. And there's like a couple of little bullshitty ones like that, but like ultimately, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, and you chalk those up to it's a kid's book.
Yeah.
But we do talk about them because he loves to use that fucking exclamation
He's like,
point.
remember the Titanic, popular movie from around now, also sinking ocean.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you could be like pancakes, yum.
Yeah, exclamation point.
Yeah. But you were even saying before, like She-Ra. We were talking about before the podcast.
Yeah, I didn't get that reference.
It's a reference to Masters of the Universe, like He-Man from like almost a decade before this. Like kids aren't gonna get that.
Yeah.
No.
Weird.
Did anyone else find it weird? I know we're on like the bad section or whatever, but like, anyone else find it weird that his sister was 2 years younger than him, but very much seemed to act like she was a few years older than him, like with their dynamic?
I always see that as like girls mature more faster than boys.
Yeah.
But that is weird, a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's like, your head is always in the clouds, dipshit. Get a job.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, she's more sensible.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to call attention to that. We
Yeah.
can return to the segment now.
No, it's true.
It's true. Yeah.
My bad stuff in the beginning when he's having all this fun and he's like this deep sea adventurer. On page 4, it literally says, like, not really. I was just pretending. And it like really takes you out of it.
Well, it's part of his creepy family ways to be like, were you on a boat? No, I was in the bathtub. Pretending.
It's like, it's chapter 2. This is how it begins. Because the first chapter is fun. But it says, my diving partner shoved my head back under the water. I opened my eyes and came up sputtering. Get real, Billy, she said. Can't you snorkel without acting like a total jerk? I sighed. She was no fun. My diving partner was really just my bratty sister, Sheena. I was only pretending to be William Deep Jr., undersea explorer. It's like, cool. Thanks for clearing that up, you fucking idiot.
I underlined that line, can you snorkel without acting like a total jerk? Just because you don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a sentence that comes up a lot.
That's true. That might be a first.
Maybe in real life.
Page 6. The whole page is choppy, uninteresting sentences, just like describing the boat and shit. And Dr. D, it says, Dr. D is a marine biologist. He specializes in tropical marine life. He studies the habits of tropical fish and looks for new kinds of ocean plants and fish that haven't been discovered yet. The Cassandra is a big and sturdy boat. It is about 50 feet long. Dr. D uses most of the space for labs and research rooms. Up on the deck is a cockpit where he steers the boat. He keeps a dinghy tied up to the starboard. It's just like the worst expository bullshitty writing.
Yeah, it's like coming out of surgery if a neurologist to see how your brain was said describe a boat.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it would sound like.
Right. First there is a sail. Then underneath that there are some windows. There's definitely a cabin.
Don't have holes in your boat, it will sink.
Yes. And it's an entire page of that. It's just a bit too much. I already talked about I Saw You Thrashing About. I've decided Dr. D is Australian is what I wrote. Billy, page 22, he reacts to the spicy chicken salad, which honestly sounds really good, as if truly it's poison. He says, then suddenly my tongue started to burn. My whole mouth was on fire. I let out a cry and grabbed for the glass of iced tea in front of me. I downed the entire glass. Fire coral. You put fire coral in the chicken salad. And Alex is like, just a little chili pepper for taste.
It does sound good, too. Also,
does.
I looked at something else. There's actually a tense problem on that page.
Is there? What is it?
The second sentence, paragraph.
The second paragraph?
Neither of us...
Oh, you know what? We're on different
are we?
books.
It says, neither of us was too eager to try Alexander's Brussels sprouts casserole.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken salad. Right.
Yeah.
Neither of us was. It should be neither of us were. Is yours the same?
It is, yeah. Yeah, I guess it should be.
Right?
Us as the group plural. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be neither of us were too eager to try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha!
Figure it out, RL.
Also, this book has been reprinted 3 times.
Yeah.
Come on, Scholastic.
God damn it.
Get your shit together.
Page 35, crash, and it's like, it's spelled out with like a million S's and stuff. It's like one of the first times I've seen him do like he doesn't do many sound effects, and I don't like it. It's just obnoxious. Page 44, he's like, maybe it's seaweed grabbing me. I think this is when the shark comes in. Mm-hmm. But he's like, seaweed doesn't have claws! Exclamation point.
Yeah.
So that's stupid.
No one would think that.
Page 53, he says, my mind screamed with terror. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Page 70, they drop a cookie into the tank because they're fucking morons. Page 106, when they come back to like whatever island or boat that the bad guys are on, the bad guy's like, why aren't you dead?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
Bad guy may be my favorite character because he's just like, no, you're both on fire. Which this is like, I literally just wrote, no, you're both on fire because this is that part. So it just says, finders keepers, the kidnappers muttered. You've made a long trip for nothing, and now look, your boat's on fire. He lowered the torch to the dinghy and set it aflame. Which, like, it's not like a video game. He's just like, hey, finders keepers, dick. Now look, I lit your boat on fire, dick. Like, he just, shut up.
He has the best time killing kids.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I get to kill kids twice. You always get that opportunity.
Dave, your bad stuff.
Cheered me. Page 42. The pink morning sunlight cheered me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the sentence.
Yeah.
Cheered me.
Yeah. It's
Who
a
the
bad
fuck
sentence.
says that?
Yeah. Right. Especially if you're a kid. It's like
It cheered me.
He has a lot of this problem. We talk about this all the time. Yeah, that would be like a British lord would speak that way.
Yeah. I am gratefully cheered by this pink morning.
Yeah.
That sounded a lot like JFK.
It halfway through. Pink cheer between your legs. And then on page 71, I know it's semantics, but also it's bullshit. And this sucks. You're writing an underwater book, dude. Don't you fucking tell me. Don't at me about this. Page 71. Okay. The mermaid cooed. Then I saw her wipe away the tears that had begun to run down her face. You're fucking underwater!
That bothered
Yeah.
the shit out of me.
She's underwater in a tank, and she's crying and wiping the tears that are running down her face.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Magic tears.
That could have just been saltwater secretion. Seriously.
No, but she wouldn't have seen. You wouldn't have known.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
in salt water.
Right. You wouldn't see the tears come out.
It's like, oh. And she's crying a lot in the book. And he's like, I see her crying. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Unless she's sticking her head out to cry.
Yeah.
Right.
Which in that case, she's manipulating you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's not normally... that wouldn't be how she would cry. I don't know. They should have cut her head off.
And played wall ball with it.
Yeah.
Wall ball was big in the 90s. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was
People
a lot of fun.
loved wall ball.
Yeah.
We called it suicide.
Oh, did
Really?
you?
Yeah.
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 It was
think I have
suicide that
heard
you
that.
peg your friend with the ball while they're trying to run back to the wall.
Right. Was that the game?
You could.
I don't
play that
remember
way.
how to
So
play it.
it was. There was two ways to play it. Either you peg them with the ball when they're trying to run back,
Uh-huh.
or if you hit the wall before they get there. They're
Oh,
out.
that's right.
Yes. Okay, so...
You played the metal way in the Bronx.
yeah.
And you probably played with like not even a ball.
Yeah, we
like
just
a
used
brick.
bricks.
Yeah. What is this? It's an inactive hand grenade in quotes.
Yeah.
My uncle died and he left this to me.
Cool. Anything else that's bad?
That's all I got.
Cool. So now, Spook and Scare, Best Dressed, alternate title. Dave, you're our guest. Do you have any of these things you would like to
I
share?
forgot about this segment. We're fucking...
What Spook and Scared you? What's your top scary moment?
Probably the shark attack.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was really solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave?
Big, solid shark attack.
Your description of good writing of him just being like, oh, thank God nobody knows where I am. I'm in the middle of the ocean. It's pitch black, and I'm going to swim out to a lagoon where I was attacked earlier, surrounded by poison coral. Like, best case scenario, he can bump the fire coral while he can't see and drown.
Yeah.
And they're like, and the shark's been here today.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would not get back in that water.
No.
What's the worst? I was like, what's the best case scenario? You kind of see a mermaid and it leaves. It's not
Yeah.
going to be like, yo, I'm a mermaid. What's up? You want me to come with you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Just horrifying. Open water scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, same.
To the point saying, like, you can imagine, like, as a kid, I'd imagine there's a shark in the pool and I'd freak out.
Yeah. That I thought the shark stuff was scary. The claustrophobia on page 94 when they're in the tank and they can't get out, I thought was pretty scary. It says, we were thrown together, then our bodies slammed against the side of the tank as it dropped into the ocean. Ocean water seeped into the tank. The tank, it's sinking, cried Dr. D. We watched the kidnapper's boat as it roared away. Our tank rocked in its wake. Then it started to sink. We're going under, Sheena screamed. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going under? Sheena screamed. We're going to drown.
My joint is getting wet.
Yeah.
Sarah, we're going to die.
I thought that was pretty scary.
Yeah, I still just can't get over how heartless that was of those bad guys.
I'm
Yeah,
still
it's
laughing
like-
at vagina.
Oh no, water's coming up to my joint.
I quit. This is a good podcast. Why is there an ant on my book?
Best dressed. Oh, I have ants.
Nice.
In
Now
my
you don't.
pants.
Now you're in deep trouble. Because you dead.
That was a live murder on the podcast. Best dressed. Dave, do you have a best dressed?
I don't have the description of it, but I definitely got the sense that Alexander was like the best, like the most like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
And like he's just got the fucking dick that just goes on. and
Hell
on and
yeah.
on.
He's got a big old hog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got too. Page 21, they described Alexander, a grade A hunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Page 117. A head popped out of the water. A gigantic, slimy, dark green head with one enormous eye.
Nice.
I'm gonna go one-eyed monster.
The brown eye.
One-eyed monster.
He's your brown eye girl.
He's my brown eye girl. Yeah.
Cool. Alternate title, Dave, on the spot. Was that it?
Yeah. Why don't you guys go? I mean,
I like just the sound. Dave.
My first boobies.
I like it.
That'd be like the time I saw a boobie.
Yeah. Fish boobies.
Summer of boobies.
Nice.
Booby summer.
My booby summer.
My boobies. I feel like too many of mine are my blank summer.
Right. Well, this could be my booby, comma, summer! Exclamation
Oh,
point.
okay. Well, yeah. So
Oh.
call us my first boobies.
Okay.
all right, got it. Deepen the mermaid.
Perfect. So here's mine. The Little Mermaid.
I'm gonna remake that and piss off a whole lot of racists.
That's right. Cool, guys, we did it.
We did.
We can put this on the shelf until we read the sequel.
Ah.
Can you only speak in your accent for the rest of this?
All right.
Take a shot at vagina.
Vagina. Vagina.
Yeah, you're getting close.
Yeah.
Getting close to that
Cool.
vagina.
Yeah. So that's book 18. We're cranking our way
It's book
through.
19, Dave.
19, as I said. Somebody give me a pen. I need to switch this.
Yeah, book 19. So we finished 20 of these fucking books.
Well, we finished 19.
Yeah.
But we read 2 extras. We did a comic
Yeah.
book. We did a feature book, holiday special.
Yeah.
This book will be the end of August, right?
Yes.
We're recording a little bit early because we got vacations and stuff going on.
Well, this episode will release beginning of August, right? Yeah.
Yes. Beginning of August, which means we're hitting the school year.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Which makes it great for Scholastic and means that Halloween is not too far away.
Yeah, baby.
So we got a lot going on. We have a brewery that we've recently filmed.
That's right. We'll be posting that.
I filmed it today, actually. It might
Featuring
be
our
out
friend Dave.
before this book, but
Yeah.
isn't it an interesting one?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that all the beers are the same.
Yeah. Well, they certainly tasted the same.
Talking about podcasts, I think I would highly implore you to check out the Age of Enfrightenment.
Yes.
Ah.
Dave.
Yeah, that's my podcast. That's my cat. Yeah, that's me, Ed, and Nick. Ed was on
Yes.
your guys'
Our Bailey
podcast.
School Kids episode.
Yeah, you know. He didn't read the book.
Yeah.
like a schmuck. He called me out for calling him out while we were recording. And he said he loves your podcast, and I was like, yeah, you love it so much that you didn't read the book.
It's very funny because the book
Sucked.
it sucked. So he did himself a favor.
He read the beginning of the book and got the gist of everything. Because the whole point of
Yeah.
the book is like this one kid is going to die of an overdose and sucks and is the
Yeah.
worst and is
Yeah.
a blight on this school.
Yeah, he did an incredible job for not reading.
Oh, that's Ed. Yeah.
That's how he graduated college.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, right?
But yeah, no, we're in the middle of recording season 2 right now. We've been gone for a while.
Yeah, it's been
Just
almost a
'cause-
year.
Yeah, and one of our co-hosts had a baby.
No
Nick.
excuse.
Selfish.
Yeah, come on.
I've listened through to season 1 of this podcast at least 2.5 times.
Nice.
All the way through. A lot
Thank
of
you.
really good, really well-researched facts on a bunch
Yes.
of different things based from the extreme and spooky folklore and fantasy down to just hard facts
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
things that are fear, scary, go bump in the night, or just like unsolved mysteries of stuff.
Yeah, we all really like spooky things, but we all also really like science and facts. So we
Yeah.
try to fuck the two together.
Hell yeah. And where could people find out more about that or listen to it?
So there's AOE Pod, that's our website, and then honestly, just going to just doing a search in iTunes for Age of Enfrightenment.
Cool.
Like that's you know,
Podcast app.
you can go to our Facebook page or Instagram or any of that shit, but like really just just listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we can always post a link to it as well. Also, producer Chib has an episode on there that's really interesting.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife was on the pod.
Your wife.
Yeah, sorry. My wife was
Yeah.
on the pod.
Yeah.
Yeshimash.
Yeah, one of my favorites. I recommend to a lot of people, so it's good.
Cool. If you want to find us, you can do so by reaching out to us at callcreepspod@gmail.com.
Calling all creeps pod
Boom.
on Instagram. Call creeps pod on Gmail.
Yes.
But yeah,
And harrystyles.org.
harrystyles.org.
Yes.
As we've been pushing.
Yeah.
You think it's gonna be a Harry Styles singer boy?
Yes.
Turns out
It's Fuller.
it's.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for coming to Fullercast. Bye,
Bye.
Boo Dudes.